How's it going, everybody? We are live now. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Those who celebrated, yeah, it was pretty good over here. Let's see, who do we have going on? So we've got YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. What's going on? JMFB is VM Pokey. We've got im.dz, Harvest D's, Flutter Dev 07. Awesome, Flutter Dev. I guess probably working with Flutter, right? Some cross-platform development there. What's going on, Lewis? Helltread. Who do we have here from TikTok? Sarah Jean, welcome. And we've got Meus. Is that how you pronounce it? Global Connect. Welcome, everybody. Shoot, I never changed the title of today's stream. It's going to be Code, Eat, Sleep, Repeat. It was funny last time we had somebody who was offended by that. They're like, oh, that's not the life of the coder. We're not supposed to code 12 hours a day. Of course not. Of course we're not supposed to. Mejos, yo, man, we lit. What's going on? Taz Nalius. I don't know how to pronounce it. Hey, I'm learning Swift. When should I implement core data? I would say after you are proficient with Swift. Once you can, start building stuff that can think and do basic logic, then go ahead and learn some core data. Abdallah says, how is Texas? Texas is great. It's like the first kind of cold day. And when I say cold, I mean like 70 degrees, or maybe it's like 65. But I'm grateful it's not the Utah weather, all that snow. I used to live in Utah, and it snowed a ton. Oh, hold on. There we go, YouTube. How's my voice now? Doesn't sound like I'm a mile away. But yeah, no, Texas is great. Weather's getting a little bit chilly, but it's good. It is fantastic. We're just going to keep it casual today. We're going to talk about code and everything. It's the weekend. So yeah, just going to be casual. Day after Thanksgiving. Maybe y'all are out shopping, getting some deals on courses, coding courses and whatnot. So pretty good stuff. I'm going to start with some questions here from YouTube. But before we dive in, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jason, full stack developer here at DevSlopes. DevSlopes is a learn to code company. We have these online coding boot camps, and you get one-on-one mentorship. Someone like me will work with you to help you learn how to code, and then I'll work with you to even land work and get paid, whether that's freelancing or landing a job. So we do all that stuff here at DevSlopes. And if you're interested in coaching and mentorship, things like that, go to devslopes.com/apply. Aside from being a full stack developer here, I also, kind of what I mentioned, am the coach, mentor, teacher for our web academy. So I help students learn how to code. And it's a lot of fun. I like teaching, and I like watching other students' lives change and their whole financial situations change and their whole lifestyle change. It's really exciting to see those type of changes take place. Let's see what's going on, Luis. Oh, Luis Silva, you're in the Web Academy. Welcome, my man. Horace Pattercon, hey, how do you stay motivated? Motivation is going to be a little bit different for every person, but I totally know what you mean. So I'm a self-taught developer myself, and learning on your own, it sucks. And it can be very discouraging at times, and you can lose motivation. Some of the things that I did was, there was a lifestyle that I was after when I was learning to code. The money was always nice. Okay. Like it was attractive and everything, but it was the lifestyle. I wanted to be able to work remotely. I wanted to be able to work from home so I can spend time with my family and, just not have to go into an office every day. And I wanted to be able to live anywhere in the world that I wanted to. I didn't want to be limited and stuck to a specific area because of my employment. And so learning to code gave that to me, because now I live out of country, in Texas, away from people, which is real nice. And it's nice, quiet, peaceful. And I couldn't do that if I was living elsewhere or had another job. So it's been really nice being able to work remotely. But yeah, stay motivated. Pick a programming language that you enjoy. Okay, that's going to help you get past those rough parts, and then find a bigger picture of why you're learning to code, whether that's providing a different financial situation for your family, whether it's you want to live anywhere you want in the world, work remotely, whatever that might be. Someone says, Lynn's tires, can you make six figures remotely? Absolutely, 100%. After about 3, maybe 4 years of programming, I was working remotely and already making just over six figures. So yeah, you can definitely do it. You can do that freelancing or with employment. Let's see. Hey, dude, do you know anything about cloud engineering? I think I had this question yesterday, but I didn't have time to get to it. Oh my gosh. Sorry, they're shoveling rocks outside my driveway. They don't realize how loud it is on the stream, but guys, comment below if you can hear the rocks being shoveled. But anyways, cloud engineering. I don't know a ton about cloud engineering specifically, but I mean, I have worked with several different cloud-based platforms for APIs and databases. Let's see. T. Ketzel, what are the best sites to start freelancing if you are just starting out? What are the best jobs to accept if you feel less experience? Somebody's saying that they can't hear. What do you mean you can't hear? Don't freak me out. Let me check my audio now. Yeti mic. I'm good. What do you mean you can't hear? YouTube, can you hear me? Hold on. Can you hear me? Okay. Oh, yeah. Emmanuel says, thank you, boss. T. Ketzel asks, can you hear the rocks on my street? No. So I've got 7,000 pounds of gravel in my driveway. I'm actually installing a brand new French drain system. So living out here in the country, I've got my own septic tanks. I don't have, city sewage and all that stuff. And so I had some issues with the drain lines to my kitchen. So I got to dig all that stuff up, and I'm laying brand new French drain system using my programming engineer skills, translating it into good hard country work. But anyways, great stuff. Let's see. Let's take some questions from TikTok. Does coding involve a lot of math? It involves a little bit, not as much as you might think. It really depends on maybe the development position that you're getting or the piece of software that you're working on. But as long as you know basic math, I'm talking about multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, you're good. All right. That's really all you need for most coding jobs, like 90% of jobs. Like if you're trying to work at like Facebook or Google or NASA, then yeah, sure, you might need to be a little bit more of a math wizard. But for traditional programming, basic math is just fine. Am I a dad or no? Yes, I am a dad. 4 kids, 10 and under. So it's awesome. And I learned how to code. I am married. Being married, and I had 3 kids at the time, and learned how to code while working a full-time job. And it was crazy. I was up at 4:30 a.m. every morning, slamming out code, did my day job, came back, studied coding, helped out with kids, bath time, dinner, all that stuff, and then went back to coding until about midnight. And I did that routine for a full year. And then Saturdays, Sundays, I spent coding for like 12 hours, learning how to code. So, but yeah, I've been doing it for about 6 years now. I primarily work in the MERN stack, Mongo, Express, React, and Node. So that's where my stuff is. Any sponsorships? Learning React right now. Any sponsorships? I didn't have any sponsorships learning to code. I don't know if that's what you mean. I don't know if there's any sponsored React courses or anything like that. Coding late 20s still possible? Yeah. I learned to code in my late 20s. I learned, how old was I? If I've been coding for 6 years, I think I started learning to code when I was like 27, 26. I did an entire career change and got into coding. Another cool thing is, so DevSlopes, we have these different academies for iOS, Android, and web development. We've got a student in our iOS academy. He's 55 years old, joined the academy, and he was in the academy for just under a year, and he landed his first iOS programming job. So it doesn't really matter how old or young you are. The industry just wants people who can code. So if you can code, Like, that's all somebody wants. It's not really a matter of age so much. Like my dad, he's what is he? I think he's like 65, and he's still coding. He still has his programming job. There's no foreseeable future for the company letting him go because he's a really, great, fantastic developer, and he pumps out results, and that's what they're looking for. Tips for a high school senior who is beginning a beginner at coding. So first off, cheap skate ad, cheap skate ad. I think that's what it says there. But anyways, first off, hats off to you for learning how to code at such an early age. That's freaking awesome. Um, the thing that you should do is decide what kind of things you want to build with software. And then that'll determine the learning path that you're doing, the technology. So, for an example, if you want to build web apps and websites, you're going to do HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React, is what I recommend. If you're going to do iOS development, you're going to build iPhone apps, you're going to learn Swift. If you want to build Android apps, you're going to learn Kotlin. If you want to do AI or machine learning, Python is the most popular language for that. If you want to work for NASA, embedded systems, robots, things like that, C++ is a good choice. But yeah, so tons of different learning paths. Rush Low Media asks opinions about Next.js, or is it Nest.js? Let me Google this. I don't know if there's a Nest.js. I don't know if you meant Next.js, but let me see if there is a Nest. Oh, there is a Nest.js, huh? A progressive Node.js framework. I've never even dove into this. You just taught me something new. So I don't have any opinions about Nest.js. I didn't know it existed until now, but I'll check it out after the stream. Let's see. Nest is an MVC style framework. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll have to check it out before I have an opinion about it. But it says it's based on Node, which is awesome. I'm a huge fan of Node. What's going on in Instagram? Let's see what kind of questions we have here. Let's see. Hey, I'm from India and wanted to join the Black Friday boot camp. How should I do that? Go to devslopes.com/apply, and then just set up a phone call. It's free. And then you can ask any questions you want about DevSlopes and the academies and how they work. How much does a developer make? It depends on the type of developer you are. So there's web development, mobile development, there's data scientists, there's hackers, whatever they call that, cybersecurity. So it really depends, but I would say most developers across the board, doesn't really matter whether it's in web, mobile apps, cybersecurity, or whatnot. It's traditional to see them making over six figures after about 3 years in the industry. Let's see. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to everybody who celebrated. I hope you enjoyed time with family and friends and eating and whatever else you chose to do. All right. So, Coder Nadir, let's see. I'm facing problems with landing my first job because of my current location. What do you suggest to me use as a website to find one? I'm from Algeria. So, I don't have a lot of experience, unfortunately, out of country finding jobs. But if you're looking for your first programming job, here's some things to do. Okay. A developer's resume is very, very specific to a developer's resume. It's not like regular resumes. Um, you need to be including your technologies, languages, and tools that you're using in there. The experience that you list on your resume should only be tech related. Do not include that you worked at Walmart or as a truck driver or whatnot, because nobody cares. All right. You're now applying for a technical role as a developer. So only jobs that have any type of technical stuff on there is the only thing that you should be doing. If that means you don't even have experience in anything technical, you should start out with freelance work. That way you can put some of the freelance projects on there, put that you were an independent contractor or did freelancing and whatnot. Second, there is a way to set up your LinkedIn profile to attract the attention of other companies and recruiters. And again, it's kind of set up the same way as your resume. Get off anything that isn't tech or development related, and include the languages, tools that you're learning, how long you've been using this. If If you've got any projects that you've built, sorry, Instagram. If you got any projects you've built, then you want to include those. And then the last thing is when you're applying for jobs, you can look through LinkedIn, you can look through Indeed, Glassdoor. Make sure you're looking for just development positions. I don't know if you're doing web, iOS, Android, or whatnot, but for an example, just do web developer. Do not put junior web developer. Get the junior crap out of there. Just look for a development position. All right. Let the company decide where you're at. All right. Just get rid of the junior stuff. That's not going to help you. All right. Let's take some more questions. How much time do we have? We're doing okay. We've got 13 minutes. Let's see. Al Winlazer. Learning on your own does not suck, but you will explore new lifestyle and coding. A mentor is good for your self journey. I definitely suggest DevSlopes with Mark Sprang. Yeah, you can do that. For me, learning to code on my own sucked because I wasted a lot of time learning things that were completely unnecessary. I didn't have any direction. I was just kind of watching YouTube videos, learning random things. I didn't know where I stood as a developer. I didn't know when I was ready to start freelancing or to start applying for a job. I didn't even know how to create my resume or strategize my LinkedIn profile. There was a lot of things that I didn't know because I didn't even have a developer friend. I just was trying to figure it out on my own. This was like 6 years ago. And for me, it sucked because there's, not a lot of directions. And that's one of the things that I love about DevSlopes is we provide a very curated, guided learning path, teach you exactly everything that you need to know to be successful in the industry. And then you've got the one-on-one mentorship. You get to work with somebody like me. And then we go through all the career prep with you. I will personally work with you to help you land freelance jobs or to get a job, whatever it is. My job's not done until my students get paid. All right. So, yeah, good stuff. How long does it take for a beginner to learn iOS development? I would say anywhere from 9 months to a year. So, and programming, isn't one of these quick fixes. It takes time. All right. It's not one of those things like, oh, I'm going to do coding for 3 months and get a job. Maybe some people can. I don't know. I haven't seen it before, but programming is a journey. It takes time. You're learning a brand new language. You're learning an entirely new way to write, and you're learning an entirely new way to think and to solve problems creatively that you haven't even really had to do before. It's just a different ball game when you're learning to code, and it takes time. Is it worth it, in your opinion, to get a computer science degree? Absolutely not. 100% no. Here's the reality. I've got family. So my older brother got a computer science degree. I have some of my closest friends have gone to get computer science degrees. So they got a bachelor's in computer science. So that's 4 years of college. It took them about 6 months to get a job after that. Let's just say in that 4.5 years that they were working for their computer science degree, I was already making over 6 years or 6 figures coding. All right, as a self-taught developer. I've got more hands-on experience out of the gates. I've got a better portfolio, and I've got more real-world experience. College has been teaching the same thing for 20 years, and they're not teaching you practical skills to get into to be successful in the industry. So, for an example, my older brother, he learned Java and C++. Okay, or maybe it was C sharp. I don't remember. Well, guess what? The programming job that he got didn't use any of those languages. He had to go and learn something entirely different. So they're teaching you two specific programming languages, but it's like, do you even want to build the type of software that you would use for those programming languages? What if you wanted to do iOS development? Then why are you learning Java and C sharp? Like, you should be learning Swift. If you want to do Android, you should be learning Kotlin. If you want to do AI or machine learning, you should do Python. Like, there's so many programming languages. So that's why you've got to pick a learning path and then learn that technology. And college just kind of forces something down your throat, and says, learn this. And they don't show you how to put it to practical use. And the industry's changed. Even jobs that say, oh, you need a computer science degree, very few of them might actually mean that. So, for an example, I'm like I said, self-taught developer. I was working at Dell Computers as a full stack engineer for a couple of years. On their job listing, it said required computer science degree, required 5 years in JavaScript, and required 3 years in React. I have no computer science degree. I had 3 years in JavaScript, not five, and I had 1 year in React, not three. They hired me. And that's because I could code. I went through the technical interview, did the coding challenges. They checked out my portfolio. I walked them through my code. They liked what I could do and says, "You want a job?" And I was like, "Heck yeah, let's do it." So at the end of the day, companies and clients, all they want is somebody who can code. A computer science degree does not prove that you can code. Most computer science degrees graduates still have no idea how to code. Do you have a course on blockchain? DevSlopes does have a few courses on blockchain. Um, I'm trying to think where they're located. We might have some on Udemy. I'm not sure. Or you can go to devslopes.com and go look at our programs and courses. We might have one there. I'm not sure. But we've done smaller, crash courses on NEM. Oh my gosh, there was two others. One was another one was Solidity, for Ethereum, and then the other one I think it was called. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember what it was called, but it was something else. All right, I'm gonna hop over to some questions from YouTube, and then we'll do TikTok again and cycle back to Instagram. Let's see. Lucas asks, let's see. Hey, Jason, what's up? Is the Web Academy go at your own pace? Do we get lifetime access to the course, or is it only for a certain amount of time? Hey, Lucas, you have lifetime access to the course, and it's built around your own lifestyle. So if you've got like family, job, whatnot, it's catered around your lifestyle. So we've got 16 different modules that you'll go through, and then you'll complete those. At the end of each module is a quiz and then a final assignment. You'll turn in that assignment. I will personally do a code review on it and give you feedback, uh, making sure that you're using best practices and whatnot. And then we have live weekly meetups where all the students hop on a call. We talk about code, tech, freelance, jobs. The whole other rest of the community is there. You reach out to me anytime that you need, coding help, assistance, have questions. And then as you come closer to the end of the academy, I will work with you through the whole career prep, helping you strategize your resume, your LinkedIn profile, prepping you for technical interviews, and then applying for freelance work and jobs. The great news is, like, I've already got students who haven't even completed the academy, and they're making thousands of dollars freelancing already. They're not even done with the academy. And I have other students who aren't even done, and they've already landed jobs. So it's really cool stuff. So go to devslopes.com/apply. I'd be stoked to work with you personally. Let's see. Not sure if you're familiar with MDN website. Yep, very familiar, where it gives you a site to reference for help. My question is, they're a website where you can go for help with Swift. Ooh, that's a good question. So I don't primarily, work in Swift. Um, that's a really good question. I know that Apple has documentation on Swift, and then Swift also has their whole built-in like glossary. I can't remember. It's like command click on something, and then it takes you to the reference of that method that you're using, and it gives you all the explanations, the um, types that it accepts, like strings or booleans and numbers, whatnot. But I don't know if there's anything like the MDM web docs like that for Swift. Where do you see Java being selected these days? Enterprise work, enterprise software. I'm about to start JavaScript module in DevSlopes. Hey, T25, stoked for you. That's awesome. JavaScript is where the fun starts. It's really where programming comes into play, because HTML, CSS, that's really just designing stuff. But like JavaScript is the brains of the operation, and that's the exciting part. So stoked for you. Let's see. Did you have a problem where you need repetition learning, but your brain is instantly getting bored when you do things you already know? Yeah, I had that a lot. So one of the things, like, repetition is important, but one of the things that's really going to help solidify your learning is building projects. All right. So you've got to get out of tutorials. So once you know core basic concepts, You should like go off and start building projects that are not part of a tutorial, because this way it's going to force you to problem solve, to come up with your own creative solutions, and wire everything up on your own. John Smith. I've learned HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript by taking classes at Udemy. Do I have to learn JavaScript ES6 to start learning React and Node JS? You don't necessarily have to, but ES6 has really become the kind of foundation where JavaScript has really gotten into. Like, you're using now like constant let. You're not using the var keyword anymore. You're starting to use arrow functions. ES6 introduces a lot of really neat, like clean syntax. You've got async await, lots of cool stuff in ES6, and that's really the standard that a lot of companies are looking for. And in my opinion, it helps you write leaner, cleaner, more readable code. So, but you don't have to know ES6 before you dive into React to Node.js. But before you dive into both of those, take steps. Okay, so you've learned JavaScript. Next, learn React. Become proficient in React, then take the next step and dive into Node. Don't try to learn too many things at once. Otherwise, you're just going to clog up your brain and get confused. Okay, one step at a time. And that's what we do in the DevSlopes Academy. For the Web Academy, we teach the MERN stack: Mongo, Express, React, and Node. So right after JavaScript, you dive into React, and then there's 4 modules on React. And then you start diving into the backend APIs, working with Node, working with Mongoose, things like that. All right, we have 2 minutes. Let's see. Let me see if there's let's see. Someone's asking, is React and Node.js hard to learn, especially React Native? So React Native is like completely different. Well, it's not completely different. It has similar patterns to React, but it's just different. It's cross-platform development. It's not your standard traditional web apps like what you would use React to build. React Native solves different problems than React and Node does. All right, it's specifically for cross-platform. So a self-taught developer is way better than a college trained, perhaps if you are building websites, but not if you want to build or work at an operating system or write programming language. Demiliola? No, I was a full stack engineer at Dell Computers. Huge enterprise corporate company, self-taught developer. Here's the thing. Companies want somebody with hands-on experience that can write code. So college is great in the sense that it teaches you a lot of depth and theory. Fantastic. Okay. But as a programmer, learning to code is a lifelong journey. You will never stop learning. Okay. All that depth that college gives you, self-taught developer might not have that out of the gates, but they learn that as they continue coding. I mean, think about it. Computer science degree takes 4 years to get a bachelor's in. That's 4 years of learning depth. Well, guess what? 4 years of hands on a keyboard along the same time building that depth, it's a lot faster. I got my first job. It paid, let's see, my first coding job after like I was learning to code for a year. My first job paid me, I think it was 78,000 a year. Okay. After 1 year of coding, self-taught. Okay. My older brother, it took him 4 years plus 6 months after he graduated with a computer science degree to finally land his first job, which turned out to be in a programming language that they didn't even teach in college. He had to go learn something else. And so my point is, hands-on, you can, if you have a guided learning path and are learning the actual skills to be successful in the industry, is a fantastic path. And yes, you will learn programming and operating systems, and you can write your own programming languages because you're learning. Even a computer science degree will learn for the rest of their lives coding. Okay. It never stops, ever. All right. We're out of time. T25 says, I can testify to Jason's code critique and feedback too. Awesome. Thank you, T25. I don't know what your real name is. But yeah, so T25 is in the DevSlopes Academy, and it sounds like he's loving it. I give him, critique and feedback on his code. So that's good stuff. Let's see. I'm going to take one question from TikTok, then Instagram, and we're going to wrap up. Let's see. Is there any program you suggest to learn programming? Yes. DevSlopes Academy. There's free things out there. You can do like YouTube. There's cheap courses on Udemy. The hard thing about some of the other stuff out there is it's just information. Not all of it is like a guided learning path. It's not. Some of it's not teaching you how to apply those skills in practical scenarios. But the DevSlopes Academy does. And there's other things like Udacity has their own, material and kind of courses that you can enroll in. But again, a lot of people have been enjoying the DevSlopes Academy because mentorship, code reviews, weekly live meetups, and the whole career prep help you get a job thing. And DevSlopes doesn't take any of your money. There's so many boot camps that like guarantee employment, but they're like, oh, but we 50% of your paycheck for a whole year. And it's like, dude, that's bullcrap. Like, you just learned a brand new programming language. You're trying to start a career, and then you have someone taking 50% of your salary. That's freaking robbing you. That's a joke. And DevSlopes doesn't do that. Like, we just want you to be successful and to change your lives. We just help you. It's part of our curriculum and our program, what we do. Someone says React or PHP. React 100%. PHP has a very gross syntax. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. All right, one question from Instagram, and then we're wrapping up here. What is your opinion of other coding boot camps? So when I very, very first got into programming, I did attend an in-person boot camp as part of my self-taught journey. Um, it moved very fast. It was a 12-week boot camp. Keep in mind, these in-person boot camps or other boot camps, they have X amount of time to cram as much information as they can into your brain. All right. That means that they can't slow down for anybody. If it's taking you longer to learn, they can't slow down because they got a curriculum to finish. So, for an example, the coding boot camp that I attended, it started out with 15 students. Okay. By the end of the 12 weeks, there was 3 left. It was me and 2 others. We're the only ones that stuck it out. The dots didn't even start to connect for me until like after at least 10 weeks of doing this because it was so fast paced and it was really rough. It was really rough. So I've only done that one. I don't know about a lot of other boot camps, but I will tell you, I wish I would have known about something like DevSlopes, where I could actually just work with a one-on-one mentor I could have lifetime access to. Because I'll tell you what, after those 12 weeks, I had hundreds of questions still about programming, and I had no direction for the next almost year. I was just trying to figure it out on my own. So, anyways, everybody, we are out of time. So, thank you so much for joining. For those of you who would like some one-on-one mentorship or some guidance, accountability, direction, learning to code, go to devslopes.com/apply. I would be stoked out of my mind to work with you. Just set up a free call. Just ask questions, whatever you want about the academy. There's no commitment. Just ask some questions, see if it's something for you. And then if you are brand new to programming or have experience, want to level up your skills, then go to 30daycodechallenge.com. DevSlopes has these really awesome 30-day coding challenges for JavaScript. So go to 30daycodechallenge.com and sign up for the next JavaScript challenge that starts in a couple of weeks. You get one-on-one mentorship during the whole 30 days. You have live weekly meetups. So you have other students and a mentor to work with, ask questions, and to learn. It's really cool. So anyways, everybody, have an amazing weekend. As always, stay safe, stay positive, and keep coding. Adios.